Alright, so what's going on, guys? Episode 7 of Vinland Saga, Normani. Let's do it! So in this episode, we got we're back to the pirate mercenaries, and, well, we actually start with the King of England. It looks like he decides that he's basically done fighting, doesn't want to do any more, fighting during the winter time. He wants to conserve the losses and, try to give his men a break. So he decides, we're gonna put the battle on hold for a while, we'll attack again in summer, and, then we'll take it from there. But for now, we're gonna basically press pause and just regather ourselves, allow ourselves to recuperate a little bit, which means the pirate mercenaries in Askeladd are out of a job for the time being. Looks like they're being furloughed, medieval century furloughed. But anyway, so they decide, well, hey, we need to survive the winter, which, come on, you know they got enough food and supplies to survive the winter. I mean, they're raiding all these villages, but they want to live like kings. They don't want to live like peasants. So they decide, hey, let's take on a little job that will make us last through the winter here, that will give us enough resources where we can feel comfortable, like the nobles that we deserve to be. So they decide to take this little job where they're gonna help this little crew take a fort that has a lot of riches and gold and useful items. So that's what they do. But in the meantime, Thorfinn reminds Askeladd, hey, you stupid ass, you owe me a duel. I've been killing all these people for you. What the fuck? You owe me a duel. Pay up. Askeladd's like, you know what? I'm not really in the mood. You know, he's kind of playing that game like he's always trying to move the goalpost further and further away, you know, like, hey, do this for me. And then Thorfinn does it, and then he's like, no, you didn't really prove yourself, do this for me. So now he's like, hey, bring me the head of a man with a helmet. And men with helmets are usually people of higher rank. They're usually in charge of like an army or a small group of fighting individuals. So yeah, bring me the head of one of those people and I'll grant you the duel that you feel like you deserve. So Thorfinn acts as a messenger to this little group of people that are going to try to take over this fort, and basically says, hey, we'll help you out in exchange for half of the loot. Although they are a bit incredulous at first, they don't trust Thorfinn considering he's a kid, but you know they decide, hey, let's work with the mercenaries. Otherwise, they're going to turn on us and they're going to work for the other side. So that's what they do. And then Thorfinn gives the signal to Askeladd, hey, the deal's on, let's get working. So Askeladd and his pirate mercenaries decide that they're going to get to the little moat and attack from there. But of course, you know, you can't get to the moat through a river. You know, you gotta be a little creative. So at night, we see a dragon moving through the forestry, and we're thinking, what the fuck? What's going on? And we learn the next day, as Askeladd and his pirate mercenaries, they're fucking carrying the boats. Now, I know what you're gonna say. Crunchy Man's He's always sort of irked by unrealistic feats in anime. And now this does seem pretty unrealistic, but I'm gonna convince you otherwise. I think it is actually pretty realistic. These Vikings are strong as fuck! I mean, frickin' strong. And those boats can't be that heavy. I mean, back in the day, they were so much stronger. I mean, man, my grandpa was a lot stronger than I am. And that was just in the 50s. I mean, nowadays, it's like, you know, 500 years ago, those guys must have been as strong as tigers or bears. So, you know, 20 or 30 of them carrying a boat, I don't think that's too unrealistic. But yeah, they place the boats in the moat. Boats in the moat! And they decide to go on a little killing spree. And while that's happening, Thorfinn decides, you know, he sees the man with the helmet and he's like, oh, that's the guy I gotta kill. I gotta do it. So he rushes in like a freaking maniac, and he's killing a bunch of people, and he gets the head that he wants. And it's kind of funny when it happens too, because when he cuts off the head goes flying into the moat. He's like, oh shit, I need the head. I need to prove that I actually did it. So then we segue away from him to Askeladd, and they kill everyone inside the fortress, and they take all the treasure and the loot for themselves, which pisses off the fat little big mouth bastard who, thought he was going to get half the loot, which Askeladd alerts him to the fact that, hey, I'll give you half, but it's just the town. It's all the buildings. I don't care about that. I want the gold and the raw materials. And it's just another example of Askeladd being a ruthless mercenary who is only looking out for himself and his men. And at the end of the episode, it ends with Thorfinn challenging Askeladd to a battle because he shows Askeladd the head that he cut off. And it seems like Askeladd is finally willing to grant him the duel. Of course, the episode ends with them running away from the little army that they tricked and stole all the loot from. But something tells me that Askeladd's not going to be... I think he'll probably give him the duel, but it won't be on equal terms. There will be some sort of trickery involved, and I just don't feel like it's going to be something that's going to be on the level. But we'll see. If this series has taught me anything, it's to expect the unexpected. With that said, what a fantastic episode. We're still getting some nice little character developments. The story and the plot are proceeding in interesting ways. You get the excitement, but you also get the sense that it's going in a very methodical fashion. Nothing feels rushed. Very excellent. So it's just a very good series all in all. Very entertaining, and yeah, I don't really got much else to say. I basically explained everything that happened in the episode. So yeah, good stuff as always. Very exciting. Very much looking forward to the next one, and I'll catch you on the flip side.